You're driving late at night on an empty stretch of highway. You reach over, turn the dial, static. Then suddenly, a voice cuts through. Calm, a little tired, talking to no one and everyone at the same time. Smokey's sitting on the on-ramp at mile marker 42. You ease off the gas. Somewhere ahead, another driver does the same. Then another voice breaks in. Then another. The channel comes alive. Strangers moving through the same darkness. Different cars, different trucks, all tuned to the same frequency. That was channel 19. For a brief moment in time, it connected millions of Americans. CB radio became one of the biggest cultural phenomena of the 1970s. Out there, your handle was your identity. Rubber duck, night owl, silver fox, moonshine minx. Nobody used real names, and that's what made it feel like its own world. You learned the language fast, bear in the air, keep the shiny side up, Smokey with a camera. It spread like an accent just by listening. Families brought it into their homes. A base station in the kitchen, a unit in the car. You could stay connected, even on the road. CB radio wasn't new. It had existed since the 1940s, quiet, mostly unnoticed. Used by farmers, small businesses, hobbyists, until something changed everything. At night, the channel felt like a roadside diner you could tune into. Voices slid in and out, sometimes jokes, sometimes warnings. Always human. Static was part of the rhythm, a hiss that framed language like a border. Between the hiss, communities formed and names were kept safe. Signals skipped and bounced. A warning from one truck could ripple back for miles. It was invisible infrastructure, held together by habit and tone. Sometimes a voice would linger, telling the same mile marker story for years like a roadside legend. People listened, filed it away, and kept rolling, kept rolling. Handles let you perform who you wanted to be for the hour. The voice became costume, and anonymity let stories breathe fuller in the dark. Slang acted like a secret map. Say the right phrase, and you were known. Say the wrong one, and you were outsider noise on the wire. Warnings were precise and brief. A bear on the overpass, a locked lizard at the stop. Each phrase carried location, risk, and tacit trust. There was humor, too, banter that cut through loneliness. A quick joke, a name drop. A playful rivalry across static and dark miles. Occasionally, time stood still on the channel, a moment when everyone listened, a storm warning, an accident report, a sudden solidarity in the dark. Those moments proved the channel was more than noise. It was a shared instrument of care, small gestures broadcasting mercy across miles. In the 70s, the channel had a heartbeat. Music, slang, fashions, and politics seeped through the speakers and shaped a roadside culture. Television and movies borrowed the sound. Songs named it. Novels wrote into it. The channel became a motif for freedom, for wandering, and for small rebellions. For many, Channel 19 was a nightly ritual. Tune in, scan, speak, move on. A ritual that stitched private routes into a public pattern. As technology shifted, the voices persisted in memory. Worn tapes, recorded calls, oral histories that kept the channel alive after the frequencies changed. Listening back to those recordings feels like listening to ghosts who still laugh and warn and sign off into the night. They left traces, slang that survives, songs that sample the hiss, and a sensibility about nighttime that lives in road stories today. Tonight the frequency is quieter, but the echoes remain. You can still find traces if you know where to listen and how to listen. Sometimes a vintage clip will play, and a voice from decades ago will bloom in the dark, softly funny, strangely wise, impossibly alive. On long stretches of road, people still look for company. A flashlight through the dark can still become a conversation if a radio answers back. Channel 19 taught patience, attention, a habit of listening. It taught strangers to be small beacons for one another in the dark. So when you hear a whisper of static on a late-night band, remember, beneath the hiss were human rhythms, small kindnesses, and a shared map of the dark. Channel 19 was never just a frequency. It was a living thread across miles, a nightly chorus of voices that turned solitude into company. 1973, the oil crisis hits. Gas prices spike. Fuel disappears. Lines stretch for blocks. Truckers turn to CB radio to find fuel, to warn each other, to organize. It becomes their lifeline. By the mid-70s, everyone wanted one. Stores couldn't keep them in stock. Millions joined the conversation. At its peak, it was everywhere. Too many voices, too much noise. The system began to break under its own weight. The urgency faded. Fuel shortages eased. Cheap radios flooded the market. People started tuning out. Then the trucking industry changed. Competition replaced cooperation. CB radio was public, and businesses needed privacy. Cell phones arrived, and everything changed. Private calls, direct connection, no audience. CB radio didn't disappear, but the world it created did. The voices in the dark, the shared road, the connection between strangers. Gone, because something better replaced it. Do you remember Channel 19? What was your handle? Tell your story in the comments. And subscribe for more rare stories.